How to repressurize a combi boiler. Hello, I'm Reese Powell, qualified gas-safe engineer and director of operations for Warmzilla. I wanted to answer a common question I and my team get asked. How do I repressurize my combi boiler? I wanted to take you through the detail, the causes and the fixes you can do to help with this issue. If your combination boiler, commonly called a combi boiler, is not properly warming your water, or you've found that your radiators have cold spots, or the unit has turned itself off, it could mean the boiler needs to be repressurized. No matter what type of boiler or its brand that you own, every single one must be repressurized occasionally. In turn, this means there's no need to panic if you discover your boiler needs to be repressurized. Just a side note, if you schedule an annual service with a gas-safe registered engineer, you might not need to repressurize your boiler. Combi boilers are the most commonly installed, with estimates suggesting that 80% of UK homes have one installed in their home. But what exactly defines a combi boiler? What is a combi boiler? Combi boilers are compact, energy-efficient heating systems that provide central heating and hot water. In the UK, most combi boilers are connected to the gas mains. The Office for National Statistics states that around 3 in 4 households, 74% to be specific, in England and Wales said it was their only central heating source. While combi boilers can use other fuel sources, such as electricity, gas is currently the most common. Combi boilers are connected directly to the main water supply coming into your home. They heat the water directly when required, eliminating the need for a separate tank, as with a system or regular boiler. Due to how combi boilers work, their main advantage is they are incredibly energy efficient by only heating what is needed. In the UK, regulations stipulate that all newly installed gas boilers must achieve a minimum energy efficiency of 92%, a legal requirement since 2018. There are many reasons why your combi boiler may need to be repressurized other than general use.
We understand how stressful it can be when your boiler isn't working as it should. That's why our expert team at Warmzilla is here to help. With our quick and reliable boiler repair service, we'll have your boiler back to its best in no time. Don't wait for things to get worse. Click the link below to book your repair today and let us take care of it before it becomes a bigger problem. And if you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.
Reasons why your combi boiler needs to be repressurized. All combi boilers need to be repressurized due to general use. However, there are several reasons why you may need to repressurize it more frequently. You can usually find the pressure valve at the front of your boiler to check its pressure. This hydraulic pressure gauge indicates whether the boiler is operating within the recommended pressure range, usually a green zone, and the maximum safe operating pressure, marked with red zones. Depending on the boiler manufacturer, your combi unit might have a digital boiler pressure gauge. LCD screen gauges will show you if the pressure is too high or too low. However, the ideal pressure range of your combi boiler should be between 1 and 1.5 bars. If your pressure reads at less than 1 bar, then this is why your system needs to be repressurized. Readings of 2.75 bars or above are generally too high. To solve this issue, consider bleeding your radiators. This will help release the pressure and bring it back to a suitable level. Generally, it is best to refer to your combi boiler's manual before repressurizing it. After all, brands and models may require different pressure levels, methods of repressurization, and more. Luckily, we've created step-by-step instructions for repressuring all of the UK's best-selling boilers, including leading brands like Worcester Bosch, Vaillant, Weissmann, Ideal, and Baxi. While there are many different boiler brands, there are several common reasons for your combi boiler to have issues with its pressure. Leaks in the system. A tiny leak in your combi boiler's heating system will cause it to lose pressure. These leaks can develop anywhere in the system, such as leaks in radiators with faulty valves or old pipe joints, pressure relief valve or heat exchanger within the boiler, or an undetected leak in hidden pipework. If this is the case, It's always in your best interest to call a professional gas-safe registered engineer if you suspect a leak in your Combi Boiler's system. Trapped air in the radiators and air pockets are another common culprit that causes your Combi Boiler to lose pressure. If your radiators have cold spots at the top but are warm at the bottom, this is a sign that trapped air in the radiator prevents hot water from circulating properly. Bleeding your radiators can solve this, but allowing too much water to escape can lower the system pressure to a low level, triggering the safety shutoff. Always check the pressure gauge after bleeding your radiators. If it's too low, you must top it up using the filling loop, which we'll cover in the step-by-step later. Faulty pressure relief valve, PRV. All boilers have PRVs, which are your boiler's safety net. The main function is releasing excess pressure to protect the system. If the valve is faulty, it might leak water unnecessarily, causing a pressure drop. Please call a professional if you notice water dripping from the PRV outlet or steadily venting out pressure. Only a gas-safe registered engineer can check and replace the valve if necessary. Expansion vessel problems. The expansion vessel is a small tank inside your boiler that absorbs pressure changes as the water heats and expands. The system can't regulate pressure properly if the vessel loses its air charge or its internal diaphragm fails. A faulty expansion vessel often leads to sudden pressure drops, frequent system shutdowns, the needle rising rapidly above 3 bars when the heating is switched on. Now that we've identified common reasons why your boiler is losing pressure more frequently, let's go through how to repressurize a combi boiler. How to repressurize a combi boiler. Before you attempt to repressurize your combi boiler, check your boiler manual for instructions to ensure it is safe to do so yourself. Please note, this is a general guide for combi boilers. Every combi boiler type and model will have a slightly different process to repressurizing them, so it is essential to double-check the steps you need to follow for your particular boiler model. Once you're ready, follow these steps to repressurize your combi boiler. Step 1. Switch off. It's essential to switch your boiler off before repressurizing it. If possible, let it cool down for 4 to 6 hours. Repressurizing the system when it has cooled down is crucial because it gives an accurate reading. Heated water expands, and the pressure naturally increases, which could lead to an incorrect reading if the system was topped up while hot. Also, ensuring the system is at the correct pressure when cold helps maintain its efficiency and prevents potential overpressurization issues. To turn off your boiler, there is usually a large switch to turn off your boiler. If it isn't obvious how to turn off your combi boiler, shut it down from your home switchboard. Step 2. Locate your filling loop. Usually located under the combi boiler, its filling loop could be one of 2 types. External, a silver-braided hose beneath the boiler. Internal, a built-in key or lever for repressurizing, usually found in the bottom panel. Both serve the same purpose, connecting your boiler to the water mains. However, one is always in place and ready to use, that is, the internal filling loop. An additional step is needed for the external filling loop. Step 3. Connect the filling loop if external. Make sure that all the essential parts are available. Usually there are the pipe itself, 2 wing nuts, or something similar, and 2 rubber washers. You will attach the filling loops to the cold water inlet and the other to the central heating connection. Place the rubber washers before attaching the wing nuts, creating a watertight seal that prevents leaks. Quick tip, when tightening, don't overdo it. Over-tightening the wing nuts can ruin your boiler's outlet threads and, in turn, create new leaks. Step 4. Open the valves. For both filling loops, you will want to follow these steps. Open the first valve to let water into the filling loop. Slowly open the second valve to allow water into the heating system. Monitor the pressure gauge, which should rise to 1 to 1.5 bars. Once it reaches this level, close the valve feeding the system. Shut off the mains water valve. Detach the hose and wipe any drips with a towel for external loops. Step 5. Restart the combi boiler. Turn the boiler back on and let it settle. Then allow the combi boiler to restart fully and work fully. When ready, check the pressure gauge to ensure it isn't dropping. The process should only take a few minutes, including attaching the filling loop, opening and closing the valves and removing the filling loop. However, it might take longer if you've never done it before. If your combi boiler loses pressure within a few days of repressurizing, you should call a gas-safe registered engineer. Although many will argue that repressuring your combi boiler is not a complicated procedure, if you are unsure about anything, just call a professional. If your boiler is still within warranty, then now is the time to call the manufacturer and get an appointment for them to come and take a look. If your boiler is out of warranty, you need to weigh up whether it's worth spending a few £100 getting the heat exchanger replaced. At Warmzilla, we're here to keep your boiler running smoothly with our expert repair services, ensuring no matter the issue, we can get your boiler back up and running again. Click the link below to book your boiler repair. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more tips and advice from Warmzilla.